Hello and welcome to my channel guys. Today in this video guys, I'm going to tell you how to update the OpenTx operating system that comes default installed on your Radiomaster TX16S. In addition to that guys, I will also be telling you how to back up your settings and back up the data which is available on this Radiomaster TX16S using this OpenTx Companion app. So guys, ensure that you watch this video till the end so that you do not miss out on any important information or instructions that I have to share. Before we move further guys, if you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications for all my new videos. Let's get started. So guys, before we can start with the updating of OpenTx operating system on this Radiomaster, ensure that guys you have watched my video of unboxing this Radiomaster TX16S, also getting started video of this OpenTx 16S so that you understand the menu functions and how to navigate across this radio control. So guys, before we can start with the updation of this Radiomaster TX16S, you need to know the basic information which will be utilized during the configuration of this OpenTx Companion app that I'm going to use along with this one to update the firmware and also back up the settings and the models which you have already on your Radiomaster TX16S radio control. So first thing first, let's go into the menu and see that information first. So the first thing that you need to know guys is the current firmware version guys which is installed as of now here on your Radiomaster. To do that guys, you need to hit that sys button and then using the page forward button go on to the last information menu guys. So here you can see the operating system as of now which is installed is OpenTx and the firmware version as of now here is 2.3.11. so this is the current version of the firmware which is installed. So after we update the firmware on this OpenTx guys, we'll come back here and see again what is the latest firmware which got installed on this Radiomaster. So next thing that you need to know guys is the mode of operation which is there in the settings menu guys. So here in the settings you need to scroll all the way down. So here you can see the default channel order as of now here on your Radiomaster TX16S is AETR and the mode in which it is set up is mode 2 guys. So these are the basic 3 information that you wanted to know before you can start with the configuration. Now that we have that information, let's get started with the updation process. So guys, before we can start with the updation process, you have to boot this up into the bootloader mode so as to be able to update the firmware on this Radiomaster. To do that guys, first thing that you need to do is click on the power button and shut this down. Now that it is shut down guys, you have this trim option guys here, T1 and T4. You have to hold it all to the center both, so T4 on towards the center and T1 on towards the center at the same time like this, and then hold the power button to boot this into the bootloader mode. So here you can see guys, it has already booted up into the bootloader mode guys. There are 2 options visible on your screen which says write firmware and exit. You don't have to do anything here guys. You don't select and configure anything on this menu. So the next thing that you need to do for updating the firmware is to connect this to your PC. So to connect it to your PC guys, the port that you're going to use is the top side USB-C port which is there on the radio control guys. So here on the top you can see guys, there is a USB type C port which you need to connect it to your PC. For that you will be needing a USB type A to USB type C cable. Ensure that guys this cable is data cable, not just the charging cable, so as to be able to transfer the data using this cable. So if you have only the charging cable guys, it will not work. Ensure that the cable that you're using is capable of data transfer as well. So all you need to do is connect it here onto the top and then connect the USB type A port which is on the other side of this cable to your PC, and then let's get onto the PC and install the OpenTx Companion app and then start with the backup and upgrade process guys. So now let's get onto the PC. Once you are on the PC guys, you have to open the browser and go to this web page called open-tx.org/downloads. I will put the link of the web page in my description guys for you guys to refer. So here on this page guys, you will get all the information required for upgrading the operating system of your Radiomaster TX16S. Also guys, here you will have the links of all the required softwares that you would need to do it. So let's see what is there on this page, guys. So first thing first, guys, here you can see what is the latest releases as of now available for OpenTX here on this page, guys. On my OpenTX, guys, you can see the firmware that I have is 2.3.11, which is one of the old firmware as of now, guys. The latest firmware available as of now is OpenTX 2.3.15. So this is what I am targeting to upgrade my firmware from 2.3.11 to 2.3.15. So what is new in this OpenTX firmware, guys? Here you can see it has an added support for some of the FR Sky's radio controls along with Jumper T12 radio, and in addition to that, guys, they have also added the functionality of FR Sky access system, guys, which is an encrypted protocol from FR Sky which was not available before this firmware version, guys. So from here onwards, guys, you'll be able to use this FR Sky access protocol based radio receivers so as to be able to control the drones, which is something really nice, guys, because it was not available before and you had to use only FR Sky based radio controls to use this FR Sky access protocol based radio receivers. So this is something new, guys, which is added to this OpenTX 2.3.15. So guys, there are a lot more information present on this page, guys. If you want, you can go through it. I will quickly run through what is available. So it comes with the nightly build, guys, which I do not recommend to use on your radio control, guys, as it might have some bugs and you might lose your drone, which might not behave in an expected way, so might crash or you might lose your drone. So nightly builds definitely gives you more features, but it also have bugs and may lead to a behavior which was not expected from your drone. So you have the nightly builds, and then you have the sound packs, guys. So the sound announcements or the warnings or the beeps that you hear, you can change using the sound pack, which is available here on this page as well. And then, guys, you have OpenTX images, Lua scripts, and in other download section, guys, one thing I would like to mention here, you have something called ST Virtual COM port driver. So if your Radiomaster TX16S is not detected by your PC and it's not able to take the firmware update, guys, I would highly recommend to download this driver and install on your PC so that your radio control is being detected by the operating system that you have. Then thereafter, using the OpenTx Companion app, you will be able to update the firmware and backup the settings. This is something important, guys, that you might want to consider. So there are more information, guys. If you want, you can go through it. Now let's get started with updation of the software, guys. So here I have OpenTX 2.3.15. That is what I'm going to download. So let's click on this. So here on this page, guys, you can see what was changed in this new firmware and what is new that is offered in this 2.3.15 operating system firmware for your radio control, guys, is all mentioned here. To start with the download, guys, all you have to do is scroll all the way to the bottom towards the download links. Do not download anything like SD card content for now. Just download the OpenTx Companion app depending upon the operating system that you have. So for me, it is Windows. If you have Mac or Linux, you can use these two links. So for Windows, guys, if you get this error called API MS CRT runtime and missing DLL, you need to install MSVC++ runtime library, which is also linked here, guys. So let's first download this OpenTx Companion app by clicking on it. Once the download is finished, guys, as you can see, just open it, license agreement. This is how you install your OpenTx Companion app, guys. So click next. Next, for current user, all user, I will select all user. So here it is finished. So let's run the OpenTx Companion app, guys. So first thing you will see on this page, guys, is it is asking you to create the radio profile, guys. So let's create the radio profile. You can give any name for the profile name here, guys. For me, it is Radiomaster TX16S Mark 1. So that is how I'm going to configure it. So here in the radio type, guys, you have to find the same. This is what we have. So Radiomaster TX16S is my radio. The menu language is going to be English. So here at the bottom, guys, you will see there are a few checkboxes that you need to know. These are the additional features, guys, that you want to include for your operating system to be compatible, guys. So here I will definitely need Lua scripts, guys, external access mode possibly, internal ELRS I do not have, override, fair mode, fair choice, no heli, no GVARs. So let's take one internal GPS, possibly which I am going to install and mod in my future videos, guys, and also Bluetooth. So here you have a mutual exclusive, guys. As you can see, either you can have a Bluetooth or you have an internal GPS, guys. So here possibly I will use internal GPS. So here you have SD structure path and backup folder path, which I'm going to leave it blank. So enable automatic backup before writing the firmware. This is also empty. So here you can see the default stick mode is mode 2, which we saw just before in this video, guys. What is the mode of operation of your radio control, which was mode 2. So default channel order, guys, as you saw before in my radio control was AETR. That is what I'm going to maintain. So here is your ATR, which is why, guys, it was super important to know before using this OpenTx Companion app, because that was required to create the profile before you can start using the OpenTx Companion app. So append the version number to the firmware field name, offer to write firmware to TX after download, which is also okay, and click OK. So here, guys, you can see the profile on the top says Radiomaster TX16S M1. So this is the name of the radio control that we gave. So now let's quickly connect the Radiomaster radio control and start with the process. As you know, we have already put the radio control into the bootloader mode, so you should not have any problem connecting the radio control and start with the firmware update process. So whenever you first connect the radio control onto your PC, guys, you will see the USB drive is now available, and then you will see the Radiomaster TX16S as one of the 2 drives that is additionally available on your PC once you connect the radio control onto your PC. So first thing first, guys, you need to back up the USB drive that you have. Do not worry about RMTX16S, guys. It has the firmware. You don't have to mess with the firmware as of now, guys, but you definitely want to back up the USB drive first. So let's quickly copy these data so that even if you mess up anything, guys, you will be able to retrieve back all those information just by copy pasting. So this is the SD card content, which is the SD card normally installed on your radio control, guys, but then you can copy it directly from here. So guys, I have already created a folder called drone backup. Here I'm going to put a new folder called SD card backup, and then put all the contents here, paste. So guys, as you can see, the content of the SD card is now properly backed up on my PC. So now I am ready to do the update and upgrade and also do the backup. So to do the backup, guys, you have to go to this option called read models and settings from radio. So this will read all the models that you would have previously configured or all the settings that you would have done on your Radiomaster TX16S in OpenTx operating system, guys. So that is what we are going to do. So here you can see it has few models which are already there, templates which are also there, guys. Since I have purchased this radio control new, guys, I do not have a lot of models configured as of now, guys, but if you guys have been using TX16S for long, you might have already got a lot of models that you would have already configured and the settings that you would have already done on your radio control, which you do not want to lose, guys. So ensure that you do this step so as to be able to back these settings up, so that even if you mess something up or if you want to have a fresh install of the firmware, you will have those settings back. So let's do that quickly. So now that you have read, you have an option to download and save. So you can click on save as, then again go to the same folder as backup. So here I will create a new folder for TX16S settings and model. So here I will save the document, settings. Let's save like this. So my settings are now saved onto my PC. So since you have already copied manually the SD card content, but I would like to show you one more thing that you can do to do the same thing as copy paste, is to synchronize your SD card, which your system will do automatically in future, guys. So this is also something super important and nice to know. So here is, you have an icon for synchronizing the SD card. So you can do is put a local folder where you have copied the SD card content, and the radio folder where you have the SD card content, and then here you can see the boot direction. So whichever place has a newer version of the file, it will copy and synchronize both, right? So if your PC has a newer version of the file, it will be copied to your radio control. If your radio control has a newer version, it will be copied back to your PC. So it's more like backing up and updating at the same time. So here you can see the existing files copy only if newer or a different file is encountered. So it will check each file which is there on your SD card, whether it is new or it is different than previous one, then only it gets copied. So let's put the local folder here, SD card backup. So I will select this folder. So this has all the content of my SD card which I backed up right now, and radio folder is E. So let's double check. So here you can see E is the USB drive and it has all the data that we copied right now. So this is also correct. We can click the start synchronize and it will check. You can see since we copied recently, there was nothing to be updated, guys. So here you can see it has skipped all 5400 files which was there on those folders. So this is also something important, guys, I thought you can utilize. So let's close this since my SD card is backed up. Now next thing that we need to do is check for the updates. So let's click on check for update. So here you can see, guys, firmware for OpenTx 16S with GPS Lua does not seem to have ever been downloaded. So the newer version available is 2.3.15. Do you want to download? Let's click on yes. I will save this file, guys, in the same folder, guys. I will create a new folder called firmware and then save this file here, and it will start downloading the firmware onto your PC. Once the firmware is downloaded, guys, it will ask you, do you want to write the firmware onto your radio now? Let's click on yes. It will automatically put the file where you downloaded, and it will put the versions and the date and time, check the hardware compatibility. This is super important, guys, so that if by mistake you would have downloaded a wrong firmware for your radio control, it will first check if that the firmware is definitely for your radio control or not. So this is something super important, guys, to do. So ensure that you have this check always there. So write to TX. So you can see my flashing is done, but we are not finished yet, guys, because we have not copied the new SD card contents, which is also one of the important steps that you need to do. So to download the SD card content, guys, you need to click here. So download the SD card content. It will take you to the web page, guys. From here, guys, depending upon the date, you need to download the latest possible SD card content that you have. So for me, it is 22 April 2022. This is the latest SD card content which is available. So I will download. So as you can see, guys, the SD card content is now downloaded. So here is all the data that you have. So I'm going to put it in another folder, guys, here on my desktop. I will just extract the data. I will select all, and then I am going to put it here like this. So it's going to extract all the data right here on my desktop. So here you can see all the SD card contents are now available. So inside the SD card backup, I have created another folder called 2.3.15. So this is the SD card content relevant for this firmware, guys. So next thing we can do is synchronize. If you are using a fresh install, guys, you can delete all the SD card content, and then you can synchronize the data from this folder onto your Radiomaster TX16S. But if you have already configured a lot of it and you have custom sound pack and things like that, I would highly recommend to do the synchronization instead of copy paste and delete. So let's do that quickly. So here we will go. So here my SD card content is downloaded. I will click on OK. So next thing I will go here again, synchronize SD. So this time I'm going to give an additional path 2.3.15. So this is the folder, and then I will start with the synchronization. So this will overwrite all the old files on the SD card of your radio control and replace it with the new ones that you have in the current folder which you downloaded from the internet right now. So this OpenTx Companion app, guys, is not just used for updating the firmware. You can also configure your radio control using this OpenTx Companion app, guys, right here from your PC. But this is not the topic for this video, guys. This video is only for updating the OpenTx firmware, guys. So we'll not go through all those settings and menu options that you have on this OpenTx Companion app, but I just wanted to let you know, guys, that OpenTx Companion app is more than just updating the firmware on your radio control. So as you can see, guys, the synchronization is complete. It has created 258 new files and it has updated around 2040 files and skipped 2976 files. So these would be the existing setting files or models or sound packs that it would not update, but it will update the files which were required on this 2.3.15 firmware to work properly, guys. So ensure that, guys, you always update the SD card content after you have updated the firmware, so as your firmware works perfectly on your radio control without problems, because it would require those files as a support files to work properly. So SD card content needs to be updated for sure, guys, every time you update the firmware. Since now we have updated the firmware, guys, now let's close this. So if you want, you can write back the settings that you would have already downloaded from your radio control before updating by clicking on this models or settings button. So here you can see you are about to overwrite all the models and settings on your radio control. If you want to proceed, click on yes. I'm not going to do that, guys, because my radio is anyways new, so it doesn't matter. So I will close this one, and now you can close the settings and click on exit. Let's go back to the radio control and boot this up. So before you can do that, guys, you need to eject both the drives from your PC. Since both the drives are safely removed from your PC, now you are ready to boot this up. So all you need to do is disconnect your USB cable from your PC. Now let's get back to the radio control and see how does it look like. Now that, guys, your firmware update is complete from the PC and you have disconnected the USB cable, you can see you are back to this menu, guys. So it says write firmware and exit. So this time, guys, you are going to select exit to exit from this menu option.
Welcome to OpenTx.
So guys, you can see it has now successfully booted up into the latest firmware which was updated on this radio control, guys. You can see your home menu looks exactly same as before because your settings were all preserved on this radio control. Now let us quickly check what is the firmware which is there on this radio control after the update. So same way, hold the sys key. Using page forward, go all the way to the information. So here you can see, guys, the firmware version on this as of now is 2.3.15 and the operating system installed is OpenTx 16S. So this is for your radio control as well, and then the features that you have as of now on your operating system supported by this radio control, guys. So you can see everything is updated successfully, and now you can start using your operating system with the latest firmware available, guys. So this is it, guys. This is how you update the firmware on your Radiomaster TX16S for OpenTx operating system. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys like this video, please do not forget to hit that like button. If you have any questions or comment, please leave them in the comment section below. I will try and answer as soon as possible. If you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications for all my new videos. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching, and clear skies.